Thanks for catching that. Yeah, so I will just take this again. So basically, the most important thing here is your your response, your console should look like what you have in the question. So if your console is different, I'm not the one marking it, but I would assume that 1 or 2 marks will be deducted. So let your console uh look like what was given in the question if it was given. So that's it. So back to question 2. So task 2 says create a Java and create the main method. So let's create the main method as the main method. Create some code to create code for user to obtain 2 decimal number and store them in 2 declared variable named dividend and divisor. So we want to say something like, now we are collecting input, so we still need a scanner. Input. I told you how to get scanner from the note if you forget. So either the lab or the note. This is the lecture note. You always say scanner, right? This is the scanner method, so you can copy it from here. If it's only the lab that is present, you also see the scanner in the labs. So just go and copy and paste, and make sure don't just copy and paste. When you copy things like scanner, they are classes, so they need, okay, it will actually throw an error, so you don't have to worry. Once it throws the error, it will tell you what to do. Now, one thing, let me just show you one thing here, how to check errors. So let's say you've copied this new scanner. Let me even have many error. You can see all these underline. One thing you can do is highlight on it. Just put your arrow on it. You are not doing it. Just put your arrow over the red stuff. Go to quick fix. Then the first thing, import scanner. You get. Then here also it's saying something. Okay, this one is not showing quick fix, but it will tell you, it will give you an idea of what is good. For example, this code allows user to read number from system in, so you know that the constructor scanner is undefined, then it gives you an example of how to use it. So most times to give you an example, sometimes you need to figure it out yourself, but this is a very good example because it's telling you what to do, and it even gives you an example of how to do int, how to do long, and some other things. So basically what you want to do here is system.in. That gives you
Anthony.
Yep.
I think is the constructor going to do that in the unavailability of internet? Because I think it did when I was doing the mock. Sometimes it was actually highlighting, and then I'll go to quick fix. I'll see some errors in the way to fix it. Even though I just want to confirm, I think does it do with or without the internet?
It does it without the internet, as long as that's the first thing you need to confirm once you start your exam, right? You want to make sure that there are suggestions, right? So when you create your first Java file, it won't when let's say we create tags 3.java, it won't actually bring this thing for you. So that for the first one, so what you do is you delete it, right? You create it again, tags 3.java. If it still doesn't bring it on the second one, then you're in soup. Don't continue. Just call somebody to come correct it. Don't continue with it. You can, I'm not saying it won't work. It will work fine, but it will give you issues in the sense that there are a lot of things, there are a lot of advantages to this auto correction and stuffs that you won't get. Right. So if you do it the second time and it's not working and it doesn't bring it out, your Java might be working fine, but insist that you are not continuing without the auto suggestion. Just tell them you are not,
be straightforward.
Just be straightforward that no, I don't know it, and I can't do it without this particular thing. So if they can fix it, let them fix it. If they cannot fix it, let them get you a new computer, please. It's very, I won't do it. I'm just saying if you can continue. But me, I would not. accept. So but most times, as long as that one works fine, that means your extensions and stuffs are working fine, your VS Code is working fine. And when you make boo boo like that, it will always highlight it for you.
Sorry, please, before you go ahead,
Yep.
what's the difference between the system in and the other one we did before in
Which
the
one did
class one?
we did the same thing?
It was system in. Okay. Sorry, my bad.
It's just telling it to use keyboards and co for
Yeah.
collecting user input. Okay, back to this thing. Um so what are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Yeah, create a code. So we are trying to do something like this. Create a code for the user to obtain two decimal places and store them in variable divisor and dividend. So you want to collect dividend fund first. So you can just follow this. So the first thing they are doing here is S out. Uh, dividend, right? And they collect it. So that's the decimal, right? That's double, not decimal. Double dividend equals input dot next double, right? The same thing for divisor also. Divisor next double, and then what do we do? So we've collected the two stores. Divide dividends by divisor and store the quotient and the remainder. I think this was what almost busted my bubble. I don't understand all these things. I know remainder, but I'm not really sure of this one. But looking at the mathematics, I was able to figure out what they were saying. So I store the quotient and the remainder in appropriate variables using appropriate data types. So the first thing you want is the quotient. So double quotient equals divide dividend by divisor. So dividend by divisor. You want the quotient. So come in just a minute. Come back to that, and the remainder, double remainder equals dividend modulo divisor. Right, this is how to get remainder modulo. And yeah, so one thing you can do is like what I did in the exam where I wasn't really sure of all these things. All I had to do was use the example and see if it's making sense. So
What is that? What is that mark you put between dividend and dividend? That's percentage. Is that what?
percentage. That's percentage. It's called modulo.
Okay.
Percentage, yeah. So then print f. Oh, okay. I can remember what happened. How to do that quotient, but I'll just walk you through this in a minute. Quotient. Sorry, I said quotient. Print f. Quotient. Quotient is percent. Percent what? Percent should actually be. It should actually be an integer, but because we have double here, let's stick with double for now. Let's just say dot 0f. Because it's one decimal place, then remainder equals also dot 0f, and which one is this one? rest. Okay, there is also one other thing we've not done. Divide the divisor by the divide dividend by divisor and store the quotient and the remainder in appropriate values, appropriate variable.
Subtract divisor. That's the one we've not done.
Subtract divisor from quotient and store the result as appropriate data type. So they are using res. Let's just use res. So double res equals subtract divisor from quotient. So that's quotient minus divisor. All right. And okay. RES dot 0f comma quotient comma remainder comma.
Anthony, sorry.
Anthony.
Yep.
Why not adding percentage to these ones?
This. Oh,
Yeah.
not percentage. Oh, yeah, it needs percentage. Don't mind me.
I
This-
thought the percentage was only in reminder.
This percentage here.
The percentage in printf perhaps is me.
For math, you know I'm using printf.
Since they're all doubles, right?
No, anything you are trying to slot in, you have to put percentage in front, even if it's a string. Look at it here. Look at tax 1. When you wanted to enter first name, percent
String
X, surname, percent S, ID, percent D. That's the same thing we are doing here. For quotient, percent F. For remainder, percent F. For rest, percent F. This is different from this. At this point, this means modulo. This means modulo here. At this point, this means placeholder. This one is modulo.
Okay. Okay. So for double is percent OF.
Not
strings.
just OF, is percent F. Now, if you want to say, it's a double, that's decimal places. So I'm saying 0 decimal place. I could say 2 decimal place, but what we have in the answers are just, there's no decimal place there.
Okay. So that's okay. That one means a number of decimals. Then for strings is percent S. Right?
Yeah, percent S.
Then for integer is percent D.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so here is placeholder. The percentage here is placeholder.
Sorry, we don't need command between those quotients, remainder, and rest.
Command
like you have the quotient percent F, comma. You don't need it there.
You are like, this thing is a placeholder right now, so it's saying the first thing, right?
Okay.
This is another placeholder saying the second thing. This is another placeholder saying the third thing. So if you make a mistake of not putting a third thing, this thing is going to throw an error.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to throw an error.
Mm.
Exception, blah 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 blah. Then it tells you where the error is. Tax 2 line 13. But
Okay.
you get
Now, Anthony, just a quick one.
Yeah.
Maybe you can a bit give a maybe brief explanation in terms of the difference between the printf and when to use it. Just a quick one, so that we all have the.
There's no when to use it or when not to use it, right? Both printf and println are the same thing. It's just the way they are being used. I can do the same thing here with println. So S out.
Hello?
Yep.
Come in.
S out. Quotient, right? Equals then plus. I'll say quotient, right? Then plus remainder plus. You can see some people find this easy, but I don't just like all this plus. You can easily get lost and miss one plus or one column or something. Res space plus res. The same thing, right? 5, 2. Okay, let's give it a 10. 5, 2. So is the same thing, you can see, although this is not formatted. So one thing you might want to, you can actually format this, but I don't think I want to do that. One thing, if you are very good with the two and you are trying to decide which one to use, when you are doing anything mathematics wise and it's telling you to do these, okay, it's not telling you to do that, it's telling you to do something like a well format. Once you see this well formatted message, definitely that's a print F. And when you are doing all these remainder that you don't want, you can easily use cars to convert this, or you can just use print F. So I prefer using print F because it makes my life easy. So yeah, let's go back to what we were doing. So the example is 5 and 2. So 5, 2. We can see that our answer is wrong. Quotient is 3. It's not 3. Quotient is 2. So we're missing something here, right? We're missing something. 5 by 2. 5 by 2 is actually not 3, is it? 5 by 2 is 2.5. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I know what's going on there. Come on. System, let's out. 5/2. Okay, it's 2. So why are we getting? Okay, probably because of this format. Hold on. No, that's yeah, that's true. Sorry. Five, 2. We're still getting 3. Quotient is not supposed to be 3. It's supposed to be 2.
I think it's 2 and the 1. So because there's no remainder, so we just take it to 3.
Sorry, take that again.
You know, it's supposed to be 2 remainder 1, but then you removed the remainder, right?
Yeah, if you
Reason.
quotient is actually coming out wrong. Dividend is quotient is coming out wrong because if you actually S out quotient here, it's still giving us 3 instead of 2. So it's not about our formatting here.
Okay.
5, 2. Oh yeah, sorry. Mistake. It's actually about our formatting. So one thing you can do here is say, to fix this, our quotient is actually coming out as 2.5. It is our formatting. I'm sorry about that. It's our formatting that is wrong. That is making it come out wrong. So one thing you can do to fix that is change this to integer. Change this to int, and then convert this here int. Int everything actually. Int the whole thing. Right. So let's out quotient again. 5, 2. Okay. Something is doing something. Yeah, our quotient is no more a float, it's now an integer. So that's percent %p. right? So we'll do that again. 5, 2. So basically, what we did was, I'll just take that again. What we did initially was take everything as double, but during the formatting, while printf was formatting, it saw 2.5 and it helped us to round it up to 3. But that's not what we want. So instead of leaving it to %f to do the work for us, to do the work, we decided to do it ourselves. So you know that when you are doing casting, when you are casting 2.999, if you cast this to an integer, it is going to be 2, right? Let's do that. Int result equals s out result. So when you cast a decimal, no matter what is behind it, it's just going to pick the one in front. Does this make sense? So we know that the result of dividends by divisor is 2.5, and what we just need is 2. According to what we have here, what we need is 2. So we don't need to round off. Printf here will round off for us. We don't want that. We just want to collect the 2. So we can use casting to just pick out the 2 and ignore the rest. So once you cast to an integer, then you are good to go. Does this make sense? Hello? Hello?
Yes, Tony.
Okay.
So
Okay.
sorry for this reminder. This dividends, that modulo you put there, what do you say is? Can you just because it looks like percentage?
Yeah, modulo is used for collecting remainder. So if you say 5 modulo 2, you are saying what's the remainder of, you remember what we were doing in Python 2 days ago? What's the remainder, right? So if you say 5 divided by 2, 5 divided by 2 is 2, remainder 1. So you want to collect 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2, remainder 0.
Okay.
So that is what modulo does for you. It ignores the answer, just collects the remainder. So modulo here is for collecting remainder. Is a mathematical operator. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I think one other thing here is, I think all these other ones too. Did they release the solution for this task?
I think he did.
Yeah, he did. It's on a module.
I think these other ones too should be converted to integer. Let me just confirm that.
It should be on the first page, like the top. Yeah, that's it.
So I just want to make sure we're on the right track, so I don't make a mistake. Procedural. That's tax 3, tax 2. Okay, yeah, it's actually using double for all of them, and it's using print lane. If you want to use this is fine. So it's using print lane, then it's converting each one of them on the spot. So in our own case, me that I'm using printf, I need to convert each one of them here. Int, then int, then I can change all these ones to %d, %d. So you have your stuff, and I think there's a space here. Yeah. So break it down. If you're using print link, this actually breaks things down for you, but for lazy people like me, you have to do it yourself. So quotient to remainder one, rest zero. Um, yeah. One thing he actually doesn't do this thing in class, but I've always seen this. So this might also end you 1 mark or half mark. I don't know. So you can see this thing is showing a warning. So basically, when you are done using a scanner, you have to close it, right? So input dot close. You can see the warning is gone. So this is, I don't think it's compulsory though, but if you remember, add it just at the end of your code, at the end of everything you are doing, you can add it, and it will fix the error and probably end you 1 mark or so. I'm not sure. So that's that. So 5, 2, and we are good to go. Does this make sense? So if you want to use print lane, this is print lane. Print lane also works fine. It gives you the same result. Are we good? Now continue.
Yeah.
But the input dot close, it's not, is sometimes it's not necessary to put it, I mean,
It's not called,
necessary to put input dot close.
but it will just be showing a warning. It will just be showing a warning here. So if you forget, there is no problem. But if
Okay.
you you can put it. You should put it if you remember. I don't think he has ever used this thing in class, right?
No, he hasn't.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, he hasn't.
this is the first time I'm seeing it in any of his code. So I don't think it's actually necessary. No, it is necessary, but not compulsory. I don't know if you get that. It's necessary in the sense that if you don't put it this one, you have a warning in your file, but it's not compulsory. You can see this one is still throwing a warning. If I close this, compute dot close, then the warning goes off. You want to make sure you don't have warnings or errors or stuff like that in your code. That's the whole idea of uh having closing everything that
Okay, so it's necessary when we're using scanner.
yeah is necessary. Same thing goes for when you start. If you, let's say while you are doing your testing, you add couple of variables you did not use, integer not used equals 2. This will throw, and because you are not using it, it will throw not an error but a warning. So when you are done with your file, look at this thing. Is it yellow or is it white? If it's yellow, if it's red, you are in trouble, like serious trouble. If it's yellow, uh, there are some things you need to go and check, and it's just warning, and go and fix things like this one. If you are not using it, take it off. If it's white, you are good to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so tax 3. Um, create a Java tax 3 and create the method tax 3.java name. Declare constant double value number 1 and assign the value of this to it as a double, a constant double. Now, read between the
Fine.
lines. A constant double, not just a double, a constant double. What do you use for a constant?
Fine.
Final. So final double number 1 equals that as a, then declare a double variable named number 2 and assign the same value as number 1. So double number 2 equals number 1. Display both values in a formatted fashion in the console, first using the println method and using the printf method. Now they are telling you what to use with only 2 decimal places displayed. So this is what you want to do. So the first thing is print lane for everything. So print, sorry, S out. Number 1 plus number 1 plus number 2, right? Plus number 2, and another S out, that will be F, right? Number 1. Okay, that's wrong. This is number 1. Number 1. 2 decimal places, that's %.2F, right? Don't mind me, I just like to make sure both of us are looking alike. Number 2, that, and %.2F, comma, number 1, comma, number 2. Play. Yep. Break it down. Right? Yeah, break it down. Play. So you have them looking. Yeah, so that's that. Any question about that? Nope. Let's go on. Task 4. Main. Okay. Your browser metabolic rate.
Anthony.
Yep.
Sorry for cutting you. Percentage D is for printf, integer.
It's for integer, yeah.
Integer. Printf is for double. What of float?
It's also F.
Double.
Also have.
Float and double are both F.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay. Your basal metabolic rate is the number of calories you burn as your body performs basic life-sustaining function, commonly known as resting metabolic rate. For men, it follows the function shown below. Create code for user to input 3 decimal place number and store this input in 3 declared variable named properly for height, weight, age. So they are saying 3 decimal number. So we still collect the age also as decimal. That's interesting. That's fine. Scanner input equals new scanner system.in. Right. Then we want to collect three stuffs. So it says create code for user to input 3 decimal. You can do, there are several ways to do this, but I'll just double height, comma weight, comma age, and height equals input dot get double dot next double, copy and paste, weight, age, yep. Let me see, enter your weight, enter your height, enter your age. So print this out, enter your weight. So I need
Enter
to
your height first. Who
yeah,
wants to get before height?
I follow is requirement. Weight first, height second.
Oh, okay.
So weight first. height second, age last, and height as centimeter, I think. cm. Yep. So that's it. Then declare a variable called BMR. Calculate the BMR of a person following the formula below. So BMR equals this formula. So if this is copyable, we'll copy it. Double BMR equals or this blah 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 blah. So let's find out why the blah blah blahs are not working. Okay, let's just write it ourselves. So 88362 88.362 plus 13397.397
397 times
times
weight
plus 4.799 times height minus 5.677 times age. Yep.
So what's starting before?
Copy and paste. I guess there are some foreign characters. I think this bracket is not showing fine. The
Okay.
bracket was showing as if a different character or something. Let me see that again. And you even see this BMR. We have issues with using this BMR because this is not. You can see.
At the end, the semicolon was not there.
Yeah, I don't think it matters actually.
That
Let me
wasn't the cost.
double BMR1. You can see. Now, note this thing. See this BMR and this BMR. They are different. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this weight and
Because
this
I
weight,
had this issue that day too.
this height and this height are different. This age and this age are different. So copy and paste is bad in this scenario. Don't do it.
Are you saying you should not do copy and paste in the exam?
Be careful of what you are copying and pasting. That's what I will say, because definitely I will do copy and paste, but I will be careful of what I'm copying.
Then sorry too. This S out too. It wasn't working on my system the day I tried it.
But was every other thing working?
Yeah, every other thing was working.
All your underlines is underlining properly and it's giving you all these things.
Yeah, just the S out that was. I have to type it out myself.
That's not bad. If that's the only thing that is not working, but if you pass that S out, I will shout.
It's all right.
Yeah. So yeah. Display all in values. This manner is English. Display all the values in a formatted manner in the console as shown below. So we want to display this. So print, sorry, S out, and I'm going to use F. Weight. Percent dot to F. Height. Percent dot to F. Yep. And H. Percent dot 0F. BMR. Percent dot 2F, comma weight, comma height, comma age, comma BMR. Okay. enter your weight. My weight is 81. Height is 178, and the age is 63. And I have 81, 178, 167009, and that is the end. I just need to add this. 81, 178, 63, and that's it. We good?
You can add the close, the input.close.
Thank you. Impute dot close.
I'm gonna collect 1 mark, so
It's necessary.
Anthony, please. For me, I don't know how to use this printf. Can you do the other way method, the print ln?
This out. Wait. Sorry. Wait. Plus wait. Right?
Yeah.
Actually, you shouldn't do this for formatting
Okay.
because
Okay.
you need to start finding how to format your stuffs into 2 decimal places, because if you check this BMR, the BMR might not be in 2 decimal places. S out BMR 81, 178, 63. You can see the BMR is not into decimal places.
Okay. So for this kind of question, the printf is the best.
Yeah, it's not like this one will not work, but now you need to start finding out how to.
Yeah. I get.
So,
And don't worry. Don't worry.
so
We'll go
when
learn now.
mathematical operation, is better to go with printf. Basically, you would have seen him saying in a formatted manner.
Yeah.
So see, this is talking about print format, printf.
Okay, it's all right. Thank you.
Yeah. But if it's just, you can see even me, I'm using print n when I can. If there's no much mathematics going on, I still prefer this. But when we start slotting in value doing mathematics, I will go with printf.
Okay.
Yep. So I think that marks tax 4. Let's go to tax 5. Tax 5.java main. Copy code from tax 4 BMR impute and display. This tax 4. This is all you need. That's tax 4. Use the BMR value you obtain to display to and a print and line to display information shown in the figure below. Normal values is mine. Basically, what they are telling you to do here is, depending on this value, you want to use print n to say if you want to check the status of the person's weight. So this is just if else. So you already have the age, you have the you have the BMR. So I think this should be BMR or something. I'm not sure what is going. This is max. This is max BMR. So you want to check if this. You want to check the range which this 1670 is. Is it greater than? Okay. Is it less than this? Right. If it's less than this, it's normal for persons in this age. But we are dealing with 63, so that's this age. So it says BMR less than this. If it's less than, it's normal. If it's greater than, it's overweight. So what you want to do is, if the first condition is age. If age
Less than.
is I think that should be greater than, that's 20 to 29. So greater than or equals to 20, and age is less than or equals to 29. You get that, right? So this is just like age between 20 and 29. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
I think one other thing you can do here is if 20 less than, I'm coming, if 20 is less than or equals to age is greater than or equals to is less than or equals to 29. Okay, so accepting that. I know some programming language actually accepts something like this, but this is not accepting it. That's fine. You can do in some programming languages, but for this one, let's just stick with what works. So you have this: if age is greater than or equals to 20 and age is less than or equals to 29, that's the first condition. Then you want to check if this is this. So if our BMR value is let's just copy this BMR. If BMR is less than or equals to max is 1400, then you can tell it to print s out normal, right? Else s out over weight. So we are doing this line right now. If age is greater than 20 or less than 29, right? And this is just like an and, right? But because that one too has its own nonsense, we just decided to give it a different. So instead of using and, we just give it a different. So everything relating to 20 and 29 goes in here. Then we can easily do for the other age also. So if age is greater than 20, less than 29, and the BMR value we calculated is less than or equals to 1004, it is normal. Else it's just greater than, else it is overweight. So we just do the same thing for, you can do copy and paste. We do the same thing for the other age also. But this would be else, or else if, right? Else if age is greater than 30. Yeah, we can just do greater than 30 here. Greater than or equals to 30. Greater than or equals to 30. And BMR is 1250. 1250. Then it is either normal or overweight. So I hope this makes sense. I hope this code makes sense. Do we understand what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
If else. The first thing is pick the first line, 2029. That's it, 2029. Then inside it we have BMR that we are comparing two things. If it's just one thing, I would have just done and A, right? But because it's another series of comparison, I took it out as a different if else. So everything inside this bracket is just for this 2029. Then there is another condition, 30. Everything inside it is for this one. So if you print, you have 81, I think. 81, 178, and 63, and Baba is overweight. $178.63 over which you got. I don't know if I have any other example. Now you can play around. You can play around with it. Let's say 75. No, that's bad. Okay, there's no age 12. We only have 20. So let me do 75. 20. So depending on calculations, okay, the calculation is 1281. So 1281 is less than this, which means it's normal. For 20, age 20, the BMR for this guy is 1281. 1281 is less than this, then our BMR status is normal. So basically that's tax 5. Is there any question before I move on? No. Okay.
Anthony, please display the tax 5 again.
Sorry?
Scroll up a bit. Display the tax 5 well. Scroll up a bit. Okay. Okay.
You good?
From where you copy from tax 4.
Sorry?
I got it. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's carry on. Tax 6. Main. Create a Java file, create the main method, use the scanner class to input the number of times the loop should run. So we want to collect a loop, scanner, impute equals new scanner system.in number of time loop should run. So s out number of times, so time to run the loop. So loop equals, int loop equals new, equals impute dot next int, and create some code using the while loop so that its input mirrors what is shown in the figure below. So we want to show this. I think this displayed something here. So s out loop, then while loop, while. Wow. Okay, one thing we want to do is condition. We want to count. So int count equals 0 if count is while count is less than loop. Let's say our loop is 10. So every time we do something, we do count plus, right? So on the first thing, count changes to 1. So it's 1 less than loop, which is 10. Yes, it continues until count gets to 9, right? It does it, then 9 changes to 10. Is 10 less than 10? No, it doesn't, and it stops. So before we do that, we just want to s out count. Play. Let's say 10, and we have 0. Okay, they're actually not printing this on my name. Let's do that again. Number of times around the loop, 10. So 0 to 9, that's not what they want. They want count equals. So let's do that. Count equals plus count 10. Okay, the count is supposed to start from 1, so you could easily say plus 1. 10. No. This should be sorry. What do you do here? Yeah, just put it in bracket. 10. Yep. Count to 10. Does this make sense?
This
Basically,
last one, change them all.
sorry?
This last one, this +1 now, change everything.
Yeah, because okay, it's let's not do +1. The count is starting from 1, right? So you can say, okay, your count starts from 1, and you need to change this one to less than or equals to. But let's see what we get without the +1. Count 10. So you have 1 to 9, right? So it's not complete. You need to say less than or equals to, and you have it. Still the same thing. Anyone that works for you. Does that make sense now? So
Anthony.
yep.
Okay, where can we get this into the lecture note?
Let me see. Loop. How we control statements. Say control should be somewhere around here. This is 3, right? Let me check 2. This is 3. Let's check 2. Yeah, this is control. Blah 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 blah. This is if. There's also switch. Well, I think if is more common. This is loop for loop. There's while loop. So this is the while loop. While condition is true, do something, then continue. So this is an example. While continue guessing. What is continue guessing? Continue guessing is true. Then once they change continue guessing to false, then this whole thing stops. Let me see. Do we have another while? You still continue guessing. But if you check the lab material too, there are other examples. It's just what we're doing here is this whole thing is just true or false. The same thing that continue guessing is true or false. So it's called count less than or equals to loop. It will either be true or false. This is not in mathematics. This is not anything. This is just true or false. Does this make sense?
Okay.
So
So basically, this is loop, and it's a while loop.
yeah, this is a while loop because they specifically said you should use a while loop. For loop, if you are okay, continue.
These small things, at least they'll give you hints where to get what. Sometimes you're in that pressure of exams and you are reading through the question and you're already panicked. You are like, oh, where is this? What is this? And perhaps the other task has already got you off. So you're totally lost. That is why I'm asking, just to have a reference where you can get some ideas, because you have this structure of the question and you'll be wondering, okay, what is this? Where can I get this? And all that stuff. So thank you very much.
For the while, anything condition, anything control, if, else, while, for, they are all control. They are logical statements. So you can get all those ones inside lecture 2. And I think they should also be in lab 2. So if you check lab 2, blah, blah, blah. This is if, else. And let me see if there's control here. Yeah, this is for loop. I don't think we did well in the lab. Yeah, we didn't do while in the lab, but while is in the lecture note. For 4, if they ask you to do 4, for instance, what you want to do is for int x equals 1, or just okay, let me just do this. Int, I'm trying to use count, but because I've used it before, well, I can actually just take it off for a minute. Int count equals 1. If loop, so loop count less than or equals to loop, the same condition I have here, count plus plus, then s out, still the same thing. So depending on what they tell you to use, if it's while loop, then you want to do this. You can see that it's actually the same thing. It's just that here you have all your stuffs outside. For while loop, you have your initialization outside. For for loop, you have your initialization in the for loop. For while loop, you have your condition in the while. This one, you have it here. For the while loop, you have your incrementation somewhere inside your code. Yeah, you have everything inside your for loop, but they are still the same thing. Int count equals 1, int count equals 1, the condition, count less than or equals to loop, and your incrementation, count plus plus. It's just the syntax is just a bit different. Does this make sense? Are we still together? Hello?
Yes, bro.
Okay.
Yes, yes. I think this is really helpful.
Good morning.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I'll pay later.
Okay. Let's go to 7. That's 7.java mean. Create some code to create one constant with a double data type called radius of 4 for this radius for submitting stuff. So constant double, that's final double radius equals 4, right? The task is to complete the area of a circle given this radius and the formula shown below using math.py. Yeah, this formula is wrong because if you use this, you won't get this answer. So if you do double area equals 2 times math.py, that's for pi, times radius. This out area.
That's perimeter now.
Yeah, that's perimeter exactly. This is no area. So your next, that's not what you get. You get something else. So you get 25 instead of 50. The correct formula is, so if you spot something like this in the exam, or just call his attention to it. Pi r square, right? So math dot pi multiply by radius multiply by radius. Yeah, this works fine, and you can use printf to format it. Another thing you can use here is double area 2 equals math dot pi multiply by math power, then your radius 1 2 pi r square. So that's how to do power, math.power, math.pow, Then what you want to power, the value you want to power it with, radius by r
Radius is 4.
radius square. So if you check, the values should be the same.
But are you not going to change the radius? Okay, radius is already given. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So let's print it formatted. So S out, print F. I'll take this off. Print F.
Area.
Percent circle radius. Just switch this thing and copyable. Circle radius. Percent dot 2F.
Yeah, you said 2 decimal value, so it is 2F. Okay.
Yeah, area equals percent dot 2F, comma radius, comma area. As it put a new line. Circle radius 4.0, area 50.27. So we'll display all the value in a formatted manner, only 2 decimal places. Use printf method in the console as shown below. That's it. Task 8. Are we good with this? Okay. Create the main method. Create some code to declare and create an array list name car to contain string object. So array lists, you need to import it is a class. Array list of string, call it cars, equals new array list. That's it. Add to the array list. You can see that here. Let me see. That should be lecture 4. Lecture 4. Lecture 4. There's array list. So this is array list. Array list string people, like the declaration, the initialization. I just did all of it in the same line. Then to start adding stuffs. So add to the array list the elements shown in the table below and make sure they are added in the same order shown in the table. So cars dot add Toyota Honda, BMW and Ford. Right. Display the content of the array list in a formatted fashion. So the first thing you might want to do is S out cars, right? It doesn't look like what you want. So what they did here is loop through the list and S out one by one. So to loop through the list, that's 4. No, that's not what I want. Let me see. I want to save for each. Yeah, this is what you want to do. So if you're in the exam hall and you have this kind of issue, if you can't remember how to print it, just type 4 and look for each. When you are dealing with array, what you want to do is for each. So basically what you are writing is this for the data type of each of your value. You know, these are strings, right? So for string, give it a name S in cars. In cars, or you can just call it for string car in car. So one car inside cars. For string car in cars. Don't make the mistake of putting cars. This is one car. This is many cars. You know, we are using cars here. So you are saying, give me each one of the car inside the cars. Then S out car. So all you are saying is print out the car one by one. You get? It's the same thing as if you for each for string in car. So there isn't string here. So what you might want to do is S out string, right? It's still the same thing, but just for the sake of writing something good, you should change it. Either if you don't want to use car, you can use S, you can use anything. Just make sure it's different from this. You can use S. So if you use S, you print S, play, and you still get your stuff. So that's it. So this is declaration and initialization of array list, adding something to array list, looping through array list. There's also remove, right? So you can say cars dot remove, let's say BMW, for example, BMW. So there's no more BMW, right? Depending on what they say you should do. Basically, you'll find everything here. Blah, 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 blah. This is add. This is set here, putting in a particular index. This is to
Anthony, which lab is this?
This is not lab. This is lecture note 4.
Okay.
So be lab 4.
Okay.
Just to add. Yeah, this is remove. Remove. You can remove by index. You can remove by element. Where's remove? Yeah, it's actually just dealing with remove by index there, but you can remove by index. So you can say remove index 2. BMW is 2, so remove 2. It still works fine. So you can remove by index. You can remove the element itself. If you know the name of the element, you can either say cars.remove BMW or cars.remove anything that is on index 2. So if I say index 3, then it's going to remove Ford. Then Ford is gone. Or I could either say remove Ford.
These are really too hard.
So that's it. Any question?
Can you go please back to the lecture notes? That lecture note 4. Yes, there's remove. What else is there? By element, by index.
Yeah, there is set. So let's say I want to change Ford to Mrs. Right? I can say cars dot set index 3 to Mercedes. Right? So there is add, there is set, there is remove. There are other things, but those are the common ones. Add, set, remove. There is also index of, if you want to get the, let's say I don't know the index of Ford, I could say int in index equals cars dot index of Ford, right? Then s out int, you can see 3. So once I get the index, I could easily slot that index here. So instead of, I don't need to know if it's 3 or 4 or anything, I can just get the index dynamically, then slot in the index into, so set the index of 4 to merge this. So I don't need to go and count the index myself. I collect it dynamically, I slot it in, and I change it to merge this.
Wow.
You get the gist, right?
Yeah, I mean it's really nice and useful, but perhaps not for this exam.
Probably. But inside is here. Your note. So with the way all of them has been surprising us, don't be surprised that it might come out.
No, sure, because we have had a lot of surprises. Now there's nothing more that is gonna surprise me. I mean,
So everything you see inside this note, inside that lab, expect it.
expect it exactly.
Yeah, so I think that's the only thing. Yeah, this is a for each loop. This is easier. And this there is also this lambda. This is the new way of doing for each, but this will suffice. Either of this will suffice. Yeah, I think basically that's, if there is any specific questions on that procedure, you can ask now.
So what I noticed here, the thing is, we have a lot of when you're dealing with procedures, I noticed there's a lot of scanner in mathematical value of it. So it's where perhaps we can invest a lot of to have an understanding into how the scanner works and how you can use them. Because a lot of all these questions, I think up to task 5 was most of that, how to play around with the scanner in mathematics, something like that. So
Scanner is not really, this is just scanner. Once you know this, bring in your scanner. Then you know that scanner has several methods. The methods for collecting string, which is either next or next line, depending on what you want. If you just want one value, then you can use next. If you want multiple value, like Anthony Toblova, inside just the first name, then use next line. You cannot use next to collect multiple values at the same time, but you can use next line to collect multiple value. That's the issue with this John Claude that he has here. If you
yeah,
use next and he tries this on his own end, it won't work because it will see John as first name and Claude as surname. So after entering John Claude here, the next thing it will tell you to enter is your ID. It won't ask for surname again.
So we use next line in that case.
Yeah, you use the next line. So when you use next line, if you like enter 1 million things here, it will collect it, then it will ask for surname separately. So that's
Anthony, sorry. So at what point in time we need to use the word scanner when the scanner is not mentioned in the question?
when they say collect input from user.
Okay.
Write a code to input your first name, surname, and ID. They might not put this thing. Write code to input your first name, surname, ID. That's it. You know you are collecting this thing because of this input.
Okay.
Create
Anthony,
just
An-
hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, please. Create code for user to input. You can see.
Okay.
So
When you input, you are receiving something.
when you are receiving something,
Okay.
yeah, obtain input and stuff like that. Sorry, somebody was trying to.
Anthony,
Yeah.
please go back to that task 3. Let me see. Okay, for some of us that we didn't have prior knowledge to this Java stuff, it seems when we do the revision close to the exam time, it freshes in our memory when we are going to the exam. Or I want to ask if it's not difficult for you. Can we do something similar to this on Monday? Any moment from Monday again?
The videos will be available. We still have object oriented, so we are doing object-oriented either tomorrow or Monday. I don't know my timetable. So we'll do object-oriented either tomorrow or Monday. Then if we do it tomorrow, then Monday we can have a general revision of everything. But the video of this class will be available, so you can easily go through it before tomorrow or before Monday. You can go through the same thing again.
Okay. Another question. This video is on the team. We only watch from team. Personally, I for like to get the copy directly to the laptop. Can we download on your YouTube page if you put them there?
I think it's the YouTube videos are downloadable. I'm not sure.
Usually,
Yes.
I think on YouTube,
Anthony.
you can download from YouTube.
Okay.
Mr. Anthony.
Yep.
Mr. Please, I don't understand that array list. Though.
Array list. Okay, you need to understand it, right? But basically, if you're in the exam hall and you still have that issue, just go to lecture note 4. Right? So the first thing you want to do is get your, let me see, good example, blah, 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 blah. This is it. So array list of string, cars, then cars equals new array list. Then add each of the cars one by one. Add each of the cars one by one. You get? Are we still together? Hello?
I'm with you.
Yes.
I'm with you.
Basically, what you can do is copy this.
Okay.
Copy this right now.
Yeah.
Right? Tax9.java main. Right? So you know in your own case that you are dealing with what? You're dealing with cars.
Yes.
You are dealing with cars. The name of your array list is cars. So change people to cars. Cars.
Okay.
Cars. 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 Right? Then your own cars are Toyota, Honda, BMW, Ford. Toyota, Honda,
Which are body?
BMW. Sorry.
Ford.
Which are what is wrong with you?
So that's add, right? Then you can say card.
Yeah, you and I know that you know what I'm talking about. What is wrong with you?
Sorry, if you're on a call, can you please mute? I don't want to mute everybody. Thank you. So
That's for you put S instead of D.
So basically, by doing this, you will get half mark. But this is not what they said you should do. You can see that your own response is different from their own. But at least getting here will give you even more than half of the mark. So even if this is all you can do, this is still fine to some point. But you can now go ahead and still read through and see, okay, how can I, this thing that is not looking fine, how can I make it look like this? You can still look through let me see if they have something like that. Blah, 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 blah.
Or something like that.
Sorry?
I think where there was a 4 or something like that is where you can find it.
I'm just trying to get to where it is. Okay, this is it. That is not, it doesn't look fine. Coming. He's not there, but he's actually there. I've seen it here before.
It was in 4 or something like that.
In another lab?
No, here, same lab, where we were doing the 4 or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where it is inside this document. I saw it. Yeah, this is it.
There, yeah, for
So you
it,
want to-
yes.
yeah, so this is what you want to copy now, right? This is like you want to print them out one by one. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, they are printing it out one by one instead of printing it out as just one card. They are going to print each of the card out one by one. This is it. So for each of these, so you can now change this, for instance, and say for string, let's say car in cars, or for it not to be complicated, for string s in cars, s out s. That's it. Print. So I know getting this might be hard if you don't know it before, but if you can do that initial part, you will get more than half mark. Then if you can find out how to do this in the exam. But since we're talking about it now, you just know that when you want to list things out one by one, for just look for for loop inside that same array list. It could be this, it could be this, or it could be this. It's the same thing. Cars. You can even leave this first name if you don't know what else to edit, but it's not good to leave it. So let's just change it to S. Hope it works fine.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay.
Do we have any other question?
So that's all, Abby.
Yeah, that's all with procedure. That's all with
Wow.
procedure. So tomorrow we'll look. Tomorrow or Monday, I'm not sure, but tomorrow or Monday we'll look at OOP.
Okay.
We'll look at the other part of it, which is OOP.
Well, thank you very much. Give us time to practice this so that it sinks in our heads and make sure we can remember it on.
Tony, thank you so much. Tony, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank-
Really, I do
thank you
appreciate
very
for
much.
your time. All right.
When you have the time, we can
That OOP,
share the video.
without that OOP, the guy
Okay,
says
Anthony, thank you very much.
Anthony, thank you very much.
Yes.